Hello students and welcome back to Roshan Engineering Hub. In this video we will study about the data independence and DBA. This is a very important topic from exam point because a direct question of data independence and their types comes in exam. So in this video we will study about that what the data independence means, what are their types and what is the need of data independence in a simple and easy way. You will get a good notes of this topic in the description box, so please do check it there and also join the Telegram group for all the notes material of every topic. Also, if you understand the topic or have any doubts, so please let me know in the comment box and do like the videos and subscribe the channel for more such interesting videos. Now, before moving towards the topic, our data independence, first we recall the three schema architecture which we have studied in the last video. So, in three schema architecture, what we have seen, there are the three levels. Okay, we have already studied the three schema architecture. Not seen that video, the link in the description box, so please do check it there. So in three schema architecture we have seen that there are three levels. What are they? First level was the external level, which was the highest level, okay, and second was the conceptual level, and the third was the internal level. External level we have also seen that it is also called as the user, or you can say that view level. And conceptual level means the logical level, and the internal level means the physical level. So what are these three levels? The external level means that how the user sees the data or the user interface, and the conceptual level means what the data are to be stored in the database or what are the relationship between those data. The internal level is that how our data is actually stored in the database. Okay, so these all three levels you have studied in the previous video, and I hope you are all clear with this three levels. So now let's move forward to our topic, that is data independence. Question is that if you make the changes in any one of the level, so what do you think, the all the other levels also get affected? So the answer is no. This is what the data independence is. Okay, let's write it also. If we make changes in any one level, other level will not get affected. Okay, and this is what data independence. Okay, I hope you cleared that. Like if we make the changes in the internal level, so it is not compulsory that conceptual or external level also will get changes. Okay, I hope you clear that what is data independence is. Let's see the actual definition of data independence. If you want to write it down or take the screenshot. Now let's see the definition of the data independence. So data independence is the ability to change the structure or storage of data at one level of the database without affecting the higher levels. Okay, so this is the definition of the data independent. So what this simply it means that it is the ability to change the structure or storage of the database, like how our data is stored or how our data is organized. If we change that, then our rest of the system, like our programs and the user views, will not at all get affected. Okay, see, one more thing is there that we have written that without affecting the higher levels. Okay, if we make the changes in the one level, so it will not affect the higher levels, but it may affect the lower levels. What we have seen that in the three schema architecture, we are having the three levels. We have already seen that in which the highest level was the Middle level was, we are having the highest, middle and the lower level. Okay, or you can say as lowest level. Okay, then the middle level was conceptual and the lowest level was the internal level. Okay, we have already discussed it, and we have also seen that external level is also called as the, and the conceptual level is the logical level and the internal level is the physical level. Okay, so these are the three levels of the three schema architecture. So what we have studied here, that if you make the changes at any one level, so the other higher levels will not get affected. Okay, like see, suppose we understand that if you make changes at the internal level, so it is having the two higher levels, which is the conceptual level and the external level. So if you make changes at the internal level, so the conceptual and external levels will not get affected, as these are the higher levels. It is not having any lower level which will get affected. Now, if we make the changes at the conceptual level, so it is having the higher level as external level. So the external level will not get affected, but the internal level, which is the lower level, may get modified. Now, if we make the changes at the external level, so it is not having any higher level, but it is having the two lower level, which is the conceptual and the internal level. So will they get modified or will they get changes if we make the changes at the external level? Okay, so the answer is no. If we make the changes at the external level, so the conceptual and the internal level will not get affected. Why it will not get affected? Because the external level, which is the user level, generally this level means that we are changing the user view. Okay, so these changes are the user specific. Therefore, do not affect the conceptual and the internal level. We can say that if you make changes at the view levels, it will not affect the logical or the physical level. So therefore, we are having the only two types of data independence. What are they? They are the logical data independence and the physical data independence. There is no view or external data independence. Why? Because we have seen that in the definition that the changes in the one level should not affect the higher level. So as the external level is not having the higher levels, okay, external level is not having any other higher levels. So therefore, we are having only two types of data independence, that is the internal level and the conceptual level, because the changes in these two levels is affecting, it is not affecting the higher levels. Okay, I hope you clear that why we are having the two types of data independence. Now first you want to write it down, so take the screenshot, take it, then we will study the types of data independence one by one. So there are the two types of data independence. Let's write it there. Types of data independence. First is the logical and second is the physical. Okay, so let's understand it one by one in detail. First we will see that what is the logical data independence. What the logical data independence means, that we have already seen here. See, logical means the conceptual level. So whatever the changes if we are making in the logical level, it will not affect the higher level, which was the external level or the view level. Example of logical we can say is the structure of table. Okay, we know that in the logical or the conceptual level, what we do, we see that what the data are to be stored in the database. Okay, and what are the relationship between this data, what are the tables to be stored. These are the things which we do in the logical level. Okay, so this we have already discussed that in the logical level, if we make the changes, it will not affect the higher level, which was the user level. Let's write it down also. Changes made at the logical level, like structure of table, do not affect the view level. Understand by the example, suppose if we are having any table and if we want to add another field or a new field in that table, or if we are having two tables and if we want to combine those two tables, so these are the changes, and if we make these changes, so it will not affect the user level or the view level or the external level. I hope you are clear with the example also, like what type of logical changes we can make, like the combining of the two tables or adding the new row or new column to the table. Let's see the second type, which is the physical data independence. What is that? What it means that physical data independence is that if we make changes at the physical level, which is the internal level, it does not affect the higher level. Which, what are the higher levels of the internal level? That is the conceptual level or the logical level, or we can say as the user level, also view level or the external level. Okay, so changes made, let's write it down. Changes made at the physical level, that is how data is actually stored, do not affect the view level and the logical level. Okay, so physical level, see what we do in the physical level is the internal level. So what we do in the internal level, we store the data. Okay, it shows that how the data is stored. Okay, the logical level tell us that the what data is stored, and the physical level tell us that the how data is stored. So changes made at the physical level, that is the how data is actually stored, do not affect the view level or the logical level. Okay, I hope you clear with this. Let's understand this with the example. Suppose we change that how the data is stored, like from one file to another, or we can change the data from SGD to SSD, any other changes. So these changes will not affect the view level and the logical level. So these changes will not affect that how the data is logically represented or how the user will access it. This is what we call as the physical data independence. I hope you clear with this also. If you want to take note it down or take the screenshot, take it. Now let's discuss the need of the data independence, or why the data independence is important. Need of data independence. First importance is that it is easily changes. First is easy changes. We can make changes in the database easily without writing the program again and again. Okay, then the second importance is less impact. Okay, like suppose if we make the changes in the inside the database, so it does not affect the rest of the system. Okay, if we make, like we have seen already, okay, like in the, if we make the changes in the physical, so it will not affect the logical level or the view level, and if we make the changes in the logical level, so it will not affect the view level. So we have seen this, that it will not affect, like if we are making any changes in the inside the database, so it will not affect the rest of the system, or we can say that if we are affecting or we are making the changes at any one level, it will not affect the other levels. Okay, so this is the second importance of our database data independence. Now the third is easy maintenance. Because of data independence, the maintaining and updating the database becomes simpler. This is also the one of the importance of data independence. Then the fourth is data abstraction. It is the best part of the data independence. Why? Because the user do not need to know that how our data is stored and or where the data is actually stored. It just come and use the database. Okay. So this is the data abstraction, like the user do not need to know that how or where the data is actually stored. He can just came and use its database. Okay, so this is the also one of the data independence importance. So this we have discussed the need of the data independence. Okay, I hope you clear with the why we need data independence. If you want to write it down or take the screenshot, take it. So that is for the today's video. We have understand that what the data independence in DBMS, what are their types, which is the logical and physical, and what are the importance or the needs of the data independence. If you found this video helpful, like the video and do comment in the comment box. Share with your friends and do not forget to subscribe the channel for more such easy explanation videos. See you in the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep growing. Thank you for watching.